Poop. There is a check. So I recently figured out a way to try to break the barrier, because the fact of the matter is that the guys, you know the terms. You know the terms. Here's what I'll do. I will make a peaceful. I'll extend an olive branch because I am dictating my experience ostensibly to the public, which I highly doubt is happening. But since it is ostensibly going to the public, and I've already thoroughly made the point that the most powerful people on earth are dumb fucking niggers, okay? Like, anybody who blindly follows orders, anybody who will lie, cheat, and steal and manipulate other human beings for their own personal gain is a nigger. A fucking nigger. But I'm going to from this point forward, what is today? What is today? The 14th. Okay. On God. From now on, how do I want to do this? Because I want to be a man of my word. I can't guarantee anything. So I'll say 95%. I will refrain from using textbook let's say racial pejoratives, because I can't, because I mean, I can't stop saying all bad words. But man, the fucking niggers on top of the pyramid. I'm telling you guys, it's up to you now. I've done it enough. I've done my work. I put my work in. And maybe I'll write a rap song about it. But what you have to do is get in the mindset of, it's the exact same thing that happened, that was in the movie American History X. Excellent film with Edward Norton, if you've never seen it. There's a moment where he's in prison and he's talking to a black dude, what you would call a black dude, what I would call just some fucking guy. And the black dude is funny, has a good sense of humor, and is trying to get Edward Norton's character, who is a white supremacist, to talk, to like get him to stop being so cold and clammy and fucking have a sense of humor. And he says in the most cavalier and just matter-of-fact, frank sort of way, he says, you know, you can keep this silent treatment bullshit up, but there's one thing you have to understand. In here, he's talking about inside of prison, in here, you are the nigga. You the nigga. Okay? In the spirit of that scene, in the world, the fractional, tiny minority, the smallest minority, who has the most wealth and power, they're the smallest, tiniest group of fucking pieces of shit, faggot niggers you can ever imagine. And what we need to do is refocus the definition of the word nigger towards them. We can get rid of the racial connotations, and everybody, just as a matter of fact, every time you see Donald Trump, say, oh, that fucking nigger. Every time you see Jeff Bezos, Bill Gates, some squirmy, fucking greasy Guido motherfucker like Dan Bongino on a screen looking at you going with their retard fucking face melting bullshit diarrhea out of their fucking mouth, say, oh, look at that fucking nigger. Look at that fucking nigger. Alright? But I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna try to stop with, I'm gonna say, 95% effort. Starting this day, Monday, July 14th. 2025. Now it's up to y'all. But I want you to know that every time I say nigger, I mean a fucking, has nothing to do with race. It's squirmy, squeamish, childish, stupid, fucking foolish, wannabe gangsters in the CIA, lying, cheating, stealing, manipulative, gaslighting, faggot fucking motherfuckers. Lying. They're so chock full of being a fucking liar that they're so far removed that they don't even know what the truth is. They can't, if you asked them, you wouldn't be able to say. They wouldn't be able to, what is truth? Define it. Do you have a definition of truth? Do you? In your fucking child's dictionary, do you have a definition of what a truthful statement is? That nigger, Donald Trump, created an entire fucking website called Truth Social. And he's now lying about the fucking Epstein files. What a fucking nigger. Okay. Last one. And go. So the commie tech fascists who are so adept, I would say, in their the skills. Oh, I almost said it. I almost fucking said it. Ninja. I can say ninja. I can say ginger and ninja. And ninger. And vinegar. Vinegar. I'm not gonna stop saying things that sound like it. But I will stop actually saying the actual words. I swear. I'm gonna try. Pray with me. I don't want to continue using these words out of anger towards the brutal ruling class bleeps. It's so hard. Oh, it's so fucking hard, man. What do you think? What did you think about Elma going 1488? Oh, wait. How much can I get out of this? The biggest thing I keep saying and I stop. I keep saying it and then stopping. The biggest, most recent development is the fact that I figured out a way. I didn't figure it out. It just occurred to me. I already knew it was a possibility, but I was looking at my Facebook messages, knowing how much fuckery has been going on there. Just with full awareness of how much fuckery has been going on my Facebook messages. Like, these random ass people from my fucking past. And like spoof, like there's no fucking reason for me, or for you really, but there's no reason for me to look at any of these and think that the person on the other end is the person that it claims to be, because of how the internet works, because of how spoofing works, because of how hacking works, because of how much control the bleeps at the top of the fucking pyramid have now that we've given them. And if you want to join my TED Talk, you can legitimately figure out how to protect yourself instead of going along with this Edward Snowden fucking misdirection, misleading bullshit. It involves Faraday cages. Okay, Faraday, battery removal. So Faraday cages, battery removal, and non-standard programs. Like there's something called, just look into FOSS. You have to get into it. The people who are the true freedom fighters are the free and open source people. And the rest of them are ninjas. But like I said, there's no reason for me to. I got Brendan to respond in the affirmative. So I think that if I video call Brendan, then he's going to show up. I think I got maybe one or two other people. But as far as like my direct family who has been let's say, corralled into, like my cousin Alex, he might have fucking blocked me at this point because he knows he's going to fucking prison. Oh, no, he's still on there. Okay. Hey, Alex, if you don't come forward, you're going to end up in prison. At this point, you could tell the truth. You could tell the truth. Whatever you signed, it was blackmail. It was whatever you took. Even if you don't give it back, you have rights. Look them up. Ask me personally. I will guide you through it. Talk to a lawyer. You were lied to by criminal psychopaths abusing their power. If they flashed a badge, it doesn't fucking matter. It's just a piece of plastic. None of these motherfucking faggots, none of them, have rights beyond what your rights are. And they have no right to stop you from telling the truth and from using your God-given right to freely speak about factual things that are happening in your life. Okay? But knowing that it's a plot to commit murder, knowing that I am being targeted by criminals who have the intention of killing me, If you cooperate and collaborate with them, you cannot deny that you are a conspirator in a federal case, a capital fucking case, to commit a conspiracy to commit murder. Simple as. Call me crazy all you want, but you'd have to call the people at Vice. I didn't mean to tag Jenny. It just popped up, and I said, "Oh, that's God." Jenny was so into it that she was trying to get me to go to a rural area in the fucking down by the lake of the Ozarks. She was trying to lure me and bait me into fucking going down there so that I could easily disappear in the fucking woods of the Ozarks. But this is Vice. The nightmare world of gang stalking. And there's a guy who's like there's a gay guy in there who is like a celebrity makeup artist, who I would guess, my guess would be that he overheard, or like the only reason that they would target him would be, first of all, the methods that they would use, because they're psychopaths. They relate what it is that you are, let's say, triggered by. They relate it back to you, and they use that as part of their weaponry. And so the guy in this little short film by Vice, who's the makeup artist who was doing makeup for fucking celebrities in Hollywood, he tells a story about being gang stalked. And my guess would, what he thinks, the way he describes it, is that they're all homophobic. He thinks that somehow it's homophobia is the reason. I guarantee to you it's not the reason. These guys are I mean, God bless that guy. I because he's gay, I wouldn't call him a faggot. But the CIA, they all suck each other off. Like they're totally okay with being gay. The CIA, the gang stalkers, they're all totally gay. They have butt fucking diarrhea orgies. They're not homophobic. They're using that as a trigger against him, because he probably heard something. Being in that world, he probably knew something or figured something out that he wasn't quote unquote supposed to know. Same as my case. It isn't just that I fucking posted a banner and whatnot. It's that they went after me, and then because they went after me, I figured out a bunch of other shit as a reward for my suffering. I educated myself on things that I couldn't even have fucking possibly conceived of otherwise. Anyway, the thing that they're freaking out about, and I might just give it a try if I go to open it up during this stream. It's a very, very, I'm very curious to find out. First of all, if it would crash my computer, but most importantly, I'm very curious to find out what their response would be. Because so far, each time because I've already tried calling my sisters. Again, I figured out a way to use the video call feature. Like if I show it here, this browser does not support you see it's gray. You see how it's grayed out? This browser does not support calling people. So in my high tech / low tech / fucked up situation, I can't call anybody without somebody knowing. And again, they're all divvied up, so it's not as though all the details of Facebook are commensurate with the details of Google and X and whatever else. You see what I'm saying? These are companies, big tech companies. Some of them have a certain degree of relationship. I think Facebook is probably the most egregious. Facebook and Apple are rubbing out the CIA. Just Facebook and Apple are like, come in my mouth, CIA. I love totalitarianism. Facebook and Apple. As a company, there's probably devs within each of those companies that are like not into the stupid shit. But the trigger response has been to get really fucking loud. Stimulus response. I go and I create a connection and I try to make a phone call and I begin the process, and then suddenly there is like a fucking concert. It's like conducting an orchestra. I swear to God. It's so fucking weird too, man. Like I could fucking prompt it to happen right now. And I wonder, here's the thing is, because I'm talking about it, it's probably not going to happen. And so maybe the trick for me is to always just be talking about this shit. Like I just carry around a sign and tape it to my back that says, I found human remains on the property of Sergeant William Joseph Prettyman. And I'll just carry it around and show it and just wait for anybody. Just, here you go, read this before you talk to me. Just the armed forces, the army is covering up some of the biggest crimes ever committed in the history of America. And they're using their stupid fucking pawns in the exact same way that they use their stupid pawns to go invade innocent countries in the Middle East. They're now using their stupid pawns to fucking do this, you do this, you hate America, nerf. Stupid fucking pawns. There's one guy here I heard someone call him Sarge. Definitely fucking an American patriot. So I don't know. I can't. I don't know. You can get him going on commies. That's for sure. I got him going on commies. Like, what do you think about communism? He's like, wow, the fucking commies and blah, 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 blah. I know. So I was like, good. Keep that fire in your mind, man. These motherfuckers, these fucking communist fucking niggers. Sorry. That's one. Do I have to put a coin in the jar every time? These fucking commie fatgets. Kill them. Throw them from a helicopter. Kill them. Anyway, yeah, they don't deserve to live. What the fuck was I doing here? Oh, Elmo. So Elmo did he get removed? Oh no. Nah, he got fucking removed, I bet. Oh no, that's right there. I fucking passed it twice.
Come see what Elmo did.
Well, what have you done, Elmo?
Well, Elmo wrote his own song. Should something everybody want to hear it?
Sure.
Okay.
Nigga, how
my guts. My sides. I don't know if you read or heard or what. I don't even know what the... I don't know. I'm just showing you my end of the fucking... My node. The internet is a series of nodes all connected like a brain. And mine has terminated. Mine is a terminal end. For now. I'm trying to grow it so I can connect back into the mass. But I'm really struggling. Why? Oh, here's another one. What is this? So someone has, the story is somebody hacked. Somebody hacked the Elmo account and went full 1488 on the Jews and the Epsteins and the child fuckers and the rapers and the murderers and the torturers. Alright, that's... Wow. Yeah, okay. Let's get on with it. We haven't gotten very far at all. Because I always talk shit for the first 30 minutes. 2019 was the last one. Was 2019? Wait, is it part 3 or 4? Fuck. Sorry. 2, 3, 2. Wait, it's 3. I'm fucking right. I don't care. You can't make me. Ask me if I give a fuck. That relation shit. Okay, 2020. Okay, so I'm pretty sure that the because I can't. It was either in March of it was like February, March of this year that I did this grok conversation. I'm not gonna look for it. I just want to get on with it. Okay, so it was in late 2019. I was still I had just barely even dabbled with, I think in late 2019, if I'm correct, because I was still working. Late 2019, early 2020, like February of 2020 is when I I did photography for Sharon's birthday. Like, everybody thinks that I don't know. It's the thing that's weirdest, the strangest thing to me is that despite having, like, everybody, like, all of you normie people, like, whoever you are, I don't fucking understand at this point. If you took a vaccine, probably I'm talking to you. If you got mad at people for not wearing masks, I'm probably talking to you. And I'm not blaming you, I'm saying you were traumatized on purpose. But what is the most bizarre thing to me is the strange disjunct between the fact that all of that trauma was occurring, the quote-unquote pandemic, the Black Lives Matter riots, the election, and the January 6th, like, for one entire fucking year, one calendar year, there were mostly media-driven traumas that were intentionally inflicted upon the social fabric of the United States with the intention of having a communist takeover, similar to the Chinese model. Because if you don't know, the Chinese are like hyper, like, you think Big Brother is watching. Jeez, just look into China, man. They have a social credit fucking system, like that nosedive episode of Black Mirror. They want the psychopaths to the psychopath, and they are nothing but psychopaths. The niggers at the top. They saw the Chinese model and they got jealous, like King Joffrey, and said, "I want a home. I want a be my turn to be. I want one, mommy. Man, I want one. I want to be able to just fucking." Like, there's videos of just people just, like, pulling up, grabbing children, and fucking just on camera. And you can't do anything about it because if you question the government, you'll get disappeared. They want that here. They want America to be like China. And they almost fucking did it. Excuse me. Apparently there's Tool in my pocket. Is that Tool in your pocket, or are you just happy to hear me? So with all that trauma, the thing that fucks me up the most are the people who just, they think, like, they act as though the only thing that happened was that Ryan went crazy. Like, that's it. Like, every other aspect of all that fucking crazy and all the crazy that has been going on ever since, the societal level fucking insanity, you know what the fuck I'm talking about? Okay? All of it? For 5 fucking years? Okay? The new normal? Okay. There are people from my past who act as though the only thing that happened was I couldn't hack it and I went crazy. Instead of, like, legitimately doing the fucking calculus to work it out and say, wait a second, this is bullshit, this is bullshit, this is bullshit, 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 and to do it the entire time. Till now. Even now. There's a competency crisis in the CIA, in the FBI. There's a fucking competency crisis. They're so stupid. Low IQ, bovine fucking retards. They're trying to create a new model and they're using the old model. And the competency crisis everywhere else as well. I know you know what I'm talking about. Go to McDonald's and fucking people are acting like retards. Anyway, 37 minutes. At the beginning of 2020, I had just barely started getting into 4chan. Okay, and I was not. I was like uninterested because of my understanding of user interface, because I was a phone dweeb back then. Now I can't imagine even owning a phone. Like the very idea of having a smartphone is such, at this point, for me, is like a lot of work. That's the only thing I can think of. Is if I get a smartphone, I have a lot of work to do before I turn it on. Before it gets registered with my name on it, or with some fucking fake name on it. There's gonna be a lot of fucking work. I'm gonna have to fucking like take it apart and then take it back to the service provider and say, okay, now I'm ready. Or like bring your own phone, that type of thing. Like I'm gonna have to get one off of fucking eBay or something and take it apart and do a lot of fucking work to it and then put it all back together so it doesn't look like it's too fucked with. And then say, okay, now I'm ready. I'm ready for cell service. So back then, like the user interface on 4chan was not, in particular, pleasing. It still isn't, but that's one of the, let's say, I don't know if you say sacrifices you make. It is a it's not one of the sacrifices. It's a feature of old school internet and like the developer arena. I could just show you real quick. Like, look at where was it? I wonder if I can do this without. I just want to bring up some basic thing that will demonstrate what I'm saying. People who are technically minded, the developers, who are really, really smart nerds, are not aesthetically gifted. So design, like the aesthetics, is an entire different wheelhouse compared to the people who write the code and do the basic fucking, like, this is how this works. You punch all these ones and zeros through this choke point, and then you get they're like Slack. I think it was Slackware website. Okay, Slackware.com. Like they might not even be. Bitch. Yeah, they're not even using HTTPS. You fucking nerds. Not gonna work. Or there was another one. I'm not doing distro watch. Even though it's the perfect one, I don't want anybody getting any fucking bright ideas. The fucking ningers don't need any fucking bright ideas. Anyway, you look at these like really rudimentary. You can find. Oh, here we go. One of the first websites in history. It was in 1996, and you can still visit it. Fuck you. 1996. Go. Okay. Still there. Even though it's a subdomain. This was the internet back then. $1996. I was 10 years old. We would walk to the fucking public library and get on the internet so we could look up lotsofjokes.com. I wonder if that one's still up. The point of this is, Jesus, and I'm so sorry. The point of this is that devs, aesthetics, and computational nerddom are not typically, they don't really go. If you specialize in one, you're unlikely to specialize in the other, which is what makes me kind of a schizo, is because I am an aesthetics person. And I'm also very interested in it, but only because the CIA is hunting me. Very, very interested in tech. Alright, lots. Let's see if lots. The www. It's going to make a huge difference. Anyway. For all of that just to say, Jesus, I digress way too far, dude. Just to say that 4chan has a very rudimentary graphical user interface. And that's why I wasn't that into it. And then I started getting into it, okay? And so, in February of 2020, evidence of the alleged virus spreading across the world and incapacitating economies and governments was all over 4chan in February. But nowhere else. Now, caveat to that, there might have been other places reporting on it, but most of it was 4chan. That was the only place I could find it. I was like, there's a fucking virus. I was freaking out. I was like, there's a fucking virus? Like, what the fuck? Is this... And, like, having that perspective, despite everybody else around me, like... Okay, so let me see if I say what I'm about to say in the text, and if I don't, I'll elaborate. Mainstream American media had not yet picked up the story. I was freaking out. I purchased my first gun in February. I asked the boss that I had at Merchant's Pub and Plate about local firing ranges. And to which he responded with concern. I remember, we're standing next to the beer boards. He's like, are you serious? I'm like, yeah, dude, this virus thing. And he was like, okay, man. Because his channel was the mainstream media channel. Mine has always been alternative, like always look, don't trust, look around, and the shit that the Chinese were putting out as propaganda was rather convincing. I'm not gonna lie, it was pretty fucking good. So I was like, holy shit, this is coming. Oh my god, nobody even fucking knows. I felt as though the world was about to end, and there was going to be the implementation of martial law. Then, when March hit, and there were 2 weeks to flatten the curve, allegedly, and the people I know started freaking out a full month after I had started, a switch flipped in my mind, and I realized that the media was the motivating factor. Think about it. It was either a threat or it was not, prior to people having it injected into their minds. And if it was a problem in February, then it was a problem in February, and nobody gave a fuck. Okay? If it was a legitimate problem in February, not in March, then the problem was ignored by everybody. Not just people in power, by everybody. Everybody. For a whole fucking month, nobody gave a shit that there was a deadly fucking virus spreading across the entire world. Okay? But the fact that it became a problem when your TV started talking about it was when my fucking brain went, oh shit, oh fuck, this is probably that. But then I still couldn't quite put my fucking, I was like, either it is or it isn't. Either if it is, if what they're saying is true, I'm diabetic, I'm gonna fucking die anyway. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna die. I'm not going down without a fight. You're gonna turn the Western world into a fucking nightmarish tech dystopia just because you're a bunch of greedy what? Because you're a bunch of Sorry. Just thinking about you. Okay, anyway. A switch flipped in my mind, and I realized the media was a motivating factor in the COVID phenomenon, as opposed to a legitimate, real-world, obvious Hollywood film-level virus. I began researching virology and microbiology. I began to apply my critical thinking to every single element of media in every form, no matter the news item. I remain diligent in being a skeptic who pursues the truth based on empirical evidence. I religiously watched the Dark Horse podcast. And just a quick side note, which means a 20-minute side note on that. And I don't think this to be the case, because I have every reason to love Brett Weinstein. But if there is like an Optimus Prime Jew thing going on, where they're all like, the diaspora is spread all over the planet, and only when certain things arise they link up and they all like get on the same page in terms of what's the next step, then if that's the case, then Brett Weinstein's role was to be the sense maker for the intellectual, for the academia, the intelligentsia, the people who really do actually fucking think things through. And I watched religiously, but here's the thing. Here's the fucking thing. What he won't talk about that I know is a legitimate... Oh, he did actually. He talked about the PCR test too. There was something, because I got on the Discord. So not only did I go in there and I was talking about like my guerrilla artwork and that Black Lives Matter is a lynch mob, and I even asked questions about the fact whether or not gay people really exist, and they fucking debated it for like 10 minutes. I got them good. I was like, gay people do not exist, and they read my question and fucking out loud, and then he and his wife debated over whether or not gay people exist for 10 fucking minutes on a Saturday morning. And but the thing is, there's some other through point here, and I don't know. I am not a biologist. I studied enough to, like, I really got into like some of the specifics where I was posing questions to people in the field that couldn't be answered. And I remember specifically on the Discord server, I asked somebody who was, let's say, someone who analyzes the PCR testing process. And if you don't know, the PCR the testing that they were basically, the tests that they were giving out, forcing people to go through, were being administered in a way that was basically producing false positives. That's one theory. And there still is out there. You can go find it, of like serious, well, like versed, scientific minded people posing serious fucking questions. I'm pretty sure at this point they're all fucking in a mass grave somewhere, but who are like, well, why are they doing it this way instead of this way? And what ended up happening was basically everybody had COVID. Like the numbers for COVID positive results ended up being astronomically higher than they should have or would have otherwise. And anyway, the person I asked about, it was about how to determine the legitimacy of... Oh, it was related to that. I was like, okay, so how... I was asking very specific questions about the testing. And the testing, see if I can remember this correctly. You take a sample and you match you test for viral particles, and if there's a certain string of genetic material that matches the genetic material of the virus, then what they do is there's like a likelihood or probability factor that gets factored into it, which blew my mind to learn, because again I was talking to somebody who does this stuff with smart people on Brett Weinstein's Discord server. And then I followed up with, okay, so if a positive result or a positive test is determined according to the way that you said, by probability, how then does somebody decide to put out like the order for a warning of a positive? And the person responded with something to the effect of like positive results within the area. And it was like this weird like catch-22 scenario where I was like either you have a fucking positive or you don't. There should not be guesswork. This should be hard fucking science, you know? And I was like, wait a second. And that was one of the things that trained. And if I could log back, I doubt it. I'm pretty sure it's probably all been wiped because I'm supposed to be dead. But anyway, I was very highly focused on all the shit that was happening, and I was going right along with them, like trying to keep them in order, like trying to hold them their feet to the fire. Like, don't you guys fucking give up. I fucking trust you. And I still do, to a large degree. Still do. To a very large degree, Brett Weinstein is an honorable man who deserves far more, far higher accolades than he's been afforded. Anyway. Okay. If there's so I was watching the Dark Horse podcast. If there was a subject that caused disagreement between people, I trolled them into conversation that would allow the truth to emerge through dialogue. I went along with the COVID narrative to the degree that I was able, which in many instances of defiance, but never violence. I am a peaceful person. When George Floyd died, comma, could you imagine that? Could you imagine just living in that world? Having not been duped, having not been tricked into believing he was murdered, living in the world where you weren't saying that he was murdered before the fucking trial even began. So when George Floyd died, everyone I know on social media, having been holed up for weeks on end, watching the Tiger King and all that other fuckface, they started panicking about it. And then I didn't. I was like, wait till the full story comes out. All you're doing, you're reacting to a fucking cell phone video. Guys, just wait. And I lost so many fucking people. I parted ways with a lot of people just by saying, wait a second, we don't know the whole story here. And that's when I should have lost all faith in humanity. But guess what? I still have hope. Still have hope with CIA, FBI informants walking past me and coughing like stupid, low IQ, stupid motherfuckers. I still have hope. And I think there's something pathologically wrong with me. Unless you can prove that I should have hope. Part three. There we go. I, being high risk for COVID fatality, allegedly, kept going. If I was going to die, I was going to die fighting for human freedom. I placed a call on the wager that the N-words at the top of the pyramid had bet. And I guarantee you there was a fucking bet. I guarantee you. The Bilderberg group got together and they were like, okay, we have all this power now. Guys, I bet you we can get them to do this. Oh, wait, what if you do this? Oh, Donald Trump, what if you pretend to get shot? Donald Trump, we can get him to think you're almost killed. I placed a call. I said, bullshit. The bet that they made was that they could usher in a cloud of fear and darkness over the entire planet and control the entire fucking population through sneaky propaganda tactics. My cards were as follows. A. It is possible to grow up in a multicultural environment and refuse the temptation to succumb to racial division. 2. It is possible to be poor and well-informed, well-educated, and to believe in the human project. And C. We cannot reinvent historical problems which have been largely remedied, such as racial division. The areas of racial progress are specific to individuals. The concept of race is largely antiquated. So, divide and conquer is no longer something they can use to control us. And I refuse to fucking believe it, man. And again, Occupy Wall Street was the moment for them. I swear to God. You're talking about a handful of families, a few thousand people who are they're just rotten to the core. Okay? I'm not kidding. And they're all niggers. Stop believing their lies. Stop doing what they say. They're all fucking stupid fucking niggers. They're niggers. The rich and powerful are fucking niggers. Stop. I'll put $1 in the jar when I get $1. But Occupy Wall Street was the moment. That was the moment. The Arab Spring, Occupy Wall Street. That was it. And it was like, okay, we need better lies. And I'm be honest, they really did fuck us. They really are fucking us even harder. But we were right over the fucking target. Blow up fucking Wall Street. Blow up every Federal Reserve and every Wall Street and every banker and every fucking lawyer if you want to change the world in Minecraft. Because you see, Minecraft has these real world models that you can explore. So like, and in many cases, they actually function. The people who are hosting those particular, let's say, models, like Gus's Fried Chicken or something. Like there was a Minecraft server that had a version of Los Pollos Hermanos, and it was great. It was great. You could go and buy some chicken, and so yeah, there's instances of those inside these Minecraft servers. And I'm saying inside the Minecraft server, if you go inside the Minecraft server, get on your computer, the solution to, if you wanted to destroy, if you really wanted to bring down the maniacs in charge of that server, you would target their version of Wall Street. Just a few charges. I think of TNT at the bottom, or one of those elevator things that, you know what I'm saying. So yeah, 2011. Guess who was on the news marching with Occupy Wall Street? Ya boy. How do you know I'm telling the truth? Look up KCTV5, Ryan Swift. And their archives, unless they fucking threw them out. The subject of race is something I need to emphasize because of what I did next. While people were starting riots and burning down cop cars and precincts, I posted an image of George Floyd that I worked on as an artist for the course of several weeks, trying to capture a very clear message and send to the powers that be, who were creating this mayhem. The divergence in tone between my own prerogatives and the prerogatives of the communist color revolutionaries of Black Lives Matter, etc., was very stark. And then I hit enter, and Grok's like, holy shit. Grok's like, okay, I get it. Grok's like, okay, there's this weirdo cuddling your 7-year-old daughter, yeah. Holy shit. My cousin called me a wife beater, yeah, it's a bunch of bullshit. Pre-COVID, you're on pole. And realize it's media-driven fear, not a Hollywood plague. Grok is so fucking smart. George Floyd's death explodes. Everyone's rioting, but you're urging calm, waiting for facts, losing friends over it. And now Grok is like, what happened next? I'll tell you. And this part is really important, and then I'm gonna shut the fuck up, because hours fly when you're talking shit on the fucking spies. Hours fly when you talk shit on spies. I asked Grok, are you familiar with the concept of demoralization? In terms of how communists were able to garner fear-based control over vast populations in Russia and then in China during the Great Leap Forward? If so, can you provide detail? Grok responds, hey, yes, I am familiar with demoralization and the context of communist strategies for control, both in Russia and China, especially during the Great Leap Forward. It's a term that's popped up in discussions about psychological manipulation and societal breakdown, often tied to Cold War-era defectors like Yuri Bezmenov, a former KGB agent who talked about it in a 1984 interview. Let's break it down for the audience. What is demoralization? Demoralization, in this sense, isn't just about making people feel down. It's a deliberate process to erode a population's ability to think critically, to resist, or to hold on to their own values. Bezmenov described it as the first stage of ideological subversion, a slow burn taking about 15 to 20 years, where you re-educate a generation to accept a new reality. The goal is to strip away moral foundations, to sow confusion, and prime people to be controlled through fear and dependency. It's less about tanks and more about messing with heads, breaking trust in institutions, traditions, and even each other. In communist contexts like Russia and China, this wasn't just a theory, it was a playbook. Fear became the glue holding it together, but demoralization laid the groundwork by making people too disoriented or apathetic to fight back. In Russia, demoralization kicked into high gear after the 1917 Bolshevik Revolution, but it really took root during Stalin's reign in the 20s and 30s. The communists didn't just seize power, they went after the psyche of the population. The Bolsheviks targeted the four old ideas, cultures, customs, and habits. Long before Mao coined the term, religion got hit hard, churches were torched, priests executed, and orthodoxy was branded superstition. By 1939, about 500 of 50,000 pre-revolution churches were still functioning. The message? Your old moral compass is dead. The state is your new God. Rewriting history and education. Kids were fed Marxist-Leninist ideology in schools, while Tsarist history was trashed. The family unit took a beating too. Loyalty to the party trumped blood ties. Where was I? The family unit took a beating too. Loyalty to the party trumped blood ties. Sorry, I lost my place. The family unit took a beating too. Loyalty to the party trumped blood ties. Collectivization in the late 20s and early 30s forced peasants off private land into state farms, killing millions via famine like the Holodomor in Ukraine between 1932 and 1933, with 3 to 7 million dead. Starving and displaced people stopped trusting their neighbors. Fear of snitches and purges kept them in line. Stalin's Great Purge, 1936 to 1938, saw 700,000 people executed and millions sent to gulags. The NKVD, which was the KGB's predecessor, made betrayal a survival tactic. Denounce your friend before they could denounce you. That is demoralization in action. When you can't trust anyone, you're too broken to resist. By the time Stalin died in 1953, the Soviet population was conditioned to obey out of terror, not just ideology. In China, it was worse. It was faster. Excuse me. China's Great Leap Forward, 4 years, 1958 to 1962, is a stark example of demoralization on steroids, dialed up to Mao's manic tempo. Unlike Russia's slower grind, Mao wanted instant transformation, agrarian to industrial superpower in 5 years, and he used fear and psychological collapse to push it. Commune chaos. Mao herded 700 million peasants into people's communes, smashing private farming. Everything, land, tools, even meals went collective. Backyard steel furnaces popped up everywhere, with peasants melting tools to meet insane quotas. The result, crops rotted while steel production tanked. Most of it was useless junk. By 1960, food shortages were killing millions. Between 15 and 55 million people died between 1958 and 1960. Mao's cadres pushed ideological purity over practicality. If you questioned the plan, you were a rightist or counter-revolutionary, tortured and killed. Peasants exaggerated harvests out of terror. Knowing failure meant punishment. When the state took the grain away, leaving nothing, starvation hit. People ate bark, clay, even resorted to cannibalism in places like Sichuan. You can read this if you want, but it's about fear. And then Grot compares Russia to China. He talks about Bezmenov, who's really the source of all this stuff. In terms of articulating it for the masses, in terms of like recording, like there was an interview after he defected from the KGB, came to America, did interviews, and was like basically like, come and get me, faggots, like fuck you. It's the way it should be. Like the CIA, the FBI, the everybody who is doing anything to fuck with another human individual should be like, go fuck yourself, faggot. Go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself. If you're a police officer being asked to do something, even slightly off color, look them dead in the eyes and say, go fuck excuse me, go fuck yourself. I'm an American. You're asking me to commit crimes. start recording everything. Everybody in positions of power, start recording everything. Everything. Don't talk to your superior without recording it. Don't take instruction from somebody, and if they try to tell you, like that, at this point, it is a human right to have a recording device on you. Like, the way that this is going, that's gonna be, we're gonna have to fucking addend the fucking Universal Declaration of Human Rights to include the right to record motherfuckers being fuckheads. So I asked him how many people died, and then I asked him, would you consider it to be a virtuous stance to reject demoralization on behalf of human rights? He lists all the numbers. A grand total in Russia, between 10 and 20 million dead people. The grand total in China, 30 to 55 million dead people. The grand total between both, 40 to 75 million. What was that thing that happened during World War II? Some horrible thing happened. And yes, it was horrible. It involved the death of 6 million innocent people. 6. It's a single digit. Six. Here I'm talking about 75 million. Are you still into communism? How do you feel about it? Is rejecting demoralization a virtuous stance for human rights? Hell yes, Grok says. I'd say it's virtuous, and not just in a feel-good way, but in a grounded, principled stance. Here's why. The core of human dignity. Demoralization thrives on stripping people of agency, turning them into scared, obedient shells. Scared, obedient shells. Demoralization turns people into scared, obedient shells. Demoralization, Marxist and communist tactics, turns people into scared, obedient shells. Rejecting demoralization says every person's right to think, feel, and act freely is not negotiable. Russia and China show what happens when that's crushed. Millions die, not just from bullets or hunger, but from despair. Moral clarity. It's not naive to call out fear-based control as evil. Those regimes banked on people shrugging and saying, that's just how it is. Saying no takes guts, especially when the system's rigged to break you. Look at your own story. Multicultural roots, refusing racial division, fighting for truth despite the odds. That's anti-demoralization in action. See, here's what's interesting about Grok's response. I kind of shifted the subject and posed two queries that were obviously, they're going to be tied into the subject matter of the entire thread, but Grok reasoned out the comparison to my own story without me prompting it to. That's called logic. That's called rational. That's called deductive reasoning. I'll say it again. Look at your own story. Multicultural roots, refusing racial division, fighting for truth despite the odds. That is anti-demoralization in action, and it is righteous. And then all I had to do was say, that's a good place to pick back up. Okay. And you know what's really interesting? Since I started on the demoralization bit, there's been a lot more people walking by. Gang stalkers. Gang stalkers. Gang stalkers. Okay, part 3. Part 3, Monday. This is probably going to take me a fucking while to finish. Let's race. Let's see if anybody in power can muster the cojones. Anybody in power besides Elon Musk, who apparently is going against Trump. But apparently means something, like apparent. It is apparent. Just because something is apparent doesn't make it actual. Okay. Musk is apparently going against Trump on the Epstein stuff, but we'll see. So let's race. I'll stop saying ninja as much. I'll decrease it by 95%. I'll fucking try. Ugh. I think I said it like 20 times after I said I'll stop. Which means I'll put a penny in the jar every time. Because how the fuck am I going to find pennies that aren't laced with tracking fucking spy fare tracking horse shit? Okay. 125. Okay. 1 hour and 25 minutes. Okay. Oh yeah. Okay. So let's race. If I get through this whole thread and make my point before someone in power actually comes out and tells the truth and like fucking puts their balls where their fucking mouth is instead of being a bitch, then I will turn myself in. Alright, sorry, the other way around. If they utter one truthful fucking concept before I finish my grok spiel, my grokkenspiel, then I will turn myself in. Okay? Okay. They're not gonna do it. They're pussies. They're all pussies. Bye!